We hear a lot about treasure, don't we? Gold coins, sparkling jewels. But what if I told you the most valuable treasure in the whole world is something you can't even see or hold? Today, we're going to share a story about just that. It's a story from long ago, all about great heroes, wise teachers, and what really, truly matters. So, our story takes place in this amazing land, and it all starts with a huge party, the biggest you can imagine. But right in the middle of it, someone asks a really important question, a question that I think we all have in our hearts sometimes. How do we become better people? And this story, well, it gives us a beautiful answer. All right, let's dive in. Picture this, a special, holy place called Kuruks. There was a giant eclipse, a moment when the sun was covered, and for this magical time, everybody gathered. I mean everybody. Kings with their shiny armor, queens in their most beautiful clothes, and all the greatest heroes of the land. It was one big, happy festival. So there's all this celebrating and music and fun, and then, all of a sudden, a hush falls over the entire crowd. Something incredible was happening. A group of the kindest, wisest teachers you could ever imagine had just appeared. It was like they floated in on the air itself, and everyone just stopped and stared. And who were these teachers? Well, there was Narada, who traveled the world just singing beautiful songs. And there was the great Vyasa, who was such a wonderful storyteller that he wrote down the amazing tales we still share today. And there were so many others. All these wise sages who just seemed to glow with kindness. And then, get this, the strongest and bravest heroes at the whole festival, Lord Krishna and the amazing Pandava brothers, the second they saw these teachers, they stood up and bowed all the way down to the ground. It just goes to show you, doesn't it? Real strength isn't about being tough, it's about knowing when to be humble and show respect. And right there, in that powerful, quiet moment, Lord Krishna himself started to speak, and he was about to teach everyone a lesson that would change the way they thought about everything. He smiled, this huge, warm smile, and he said, "Today is such a wonderful day." But not because of the party or the food. No. He said, "It's a wonderful day because we get to be here with these wise people. Just seeing them, that is the greatest gift we could ever receive." And to make sure everyone really got it, Krishna explained it like this. He said, "You know how going to a holy river or a special temple can help your heart feel clean and pure, but it takes a long time? Well, when you're around truly wise and kind people, their goodness just splashes right onto you. It makes your heart feel pure right away. It's almost like kindness is contagious." Now, listening to all this was Krishna's own father, Vasudeva. And as he heard his son's words and looked at the kind faces of all the sages, he felt something stir inside his heart. He knew right then that he had to ask them something very, very important. So Vasudeva walked right up to those wise teachers, and from the bottom of his heart he asked, "How can I make up for things I've done wrong in the past? How can I live a better life from now on?" Wow. That's a really brave and honest question to ask, isn't it? One of the sages, the gentle Narada, just smiled. He said, "That's a bit of a funny question, my friend. It's like you're living right next to the giant, holy Ganges River, but you're looking for a little puddle to get clean." What he meant was, Vasudeva was already living with his son Krishna, who was the source of all goodness. But because Vasudeva's question was so sincere, the sages gave him this beautiful, simple advice. It's like a recipe for a happy heart. First, do good things with faith and love. Second, always be thankful for what you have. Third, share it. Share what you have with others. And fourth, try to be happy with what you have, instead of always wanting more and more. And Vasudeva didn't just listen to this advice. He took it right to heart. He decided he was going to put it all into action by throwing a huge ceremony, a big celebration called a yajna, to show how grateful he was and to share everything he had. And what a celebration it was. Seriously, just imagine. Music playing everywhere, people dancing and singing. Vasudeva and his family wore their most amazing clothes. But the best part? They shared. They made sure every single person, no matter who they were, and even all the animals, had plenty of wonderful food to eat. It was a true party of gratitude.
The whole festival was just so filled with love and joy that people didn't want to go home. In fact, Vasudeva's dearest friend, Nanda, had such a wonderful time celebrating that he stayed for 3 whole months. Can you believe it? That just shows you how deep their friendship was.
And now we get to the real center of our story. After all the music had faded and most people had gone home, 2 friends stayed behind, Vasudeva and Nanda. And in that quiet, peaceful moment, Vasudeva realized the most important lesson of all. With so much love in his heart, Vasudeva looked at his friend and said something so honest. He said, I got so caught up in my new fancy life that I forgot about the things that are really important. I forgot about my friends. He told Nananda that the connection between true friends, that bond of love, that is the strongest thing in the entire world. Your friendship, he said, is a gift that never ever runs out. And with tears filling his eyes, Vasudeva just reached out and hugged his friend Nanda. And in that hug, he finally understood. The party was great, the sages were wise, but the real treasure, the greatest treasure of all, was the love he shared with his friend. So our story ends with a hug that was worth more than all the gold and jewels in the world. Vasudeva learned that the real treasures in life aren't the things we can own, but the love we can share. And that leaves me with a little question for you to think about. What's a treasure in your life that money can't buy? Thanks for joining me for this story.